Today we're talking about the most effective, mean, sneaky way to land elbows. Gonna help you guys land these easier in sparring and not have to put in much effort on them. You're just gonna float them in as opposed to, it's just gonna be placement. I've built out my next strike ready course called Champion, where we're going to move beyond the foundation building blocks of striking, beginner offense, defense, beginner footwork, and we're going to start implementing this at a higher level, the level which allows people who've been training for over 6 months to really start taking those skills and letting them expand and improve. Right now we have early bird pricing, I think, for another week or so, and if you want to be a part of the live component of this training, you want to get yourself registered before March 15th. On March 16th, we lock down the course and only people who are registered are able to join for the weekly videos dropping and for those live calls. Link down below to Strike Ready Champion. Now, for my entire amateur career, these belts down here, I did all kickboxing. All kickboxing, which means I never trained with elbows. Then I turned to pro. I had about 3 or 4 fights before I started going, okay, you know what, I'm gonna add elbows. Gonna do some Muay Thai fights. All of them fell through. The only times I've been able to throw elbows in my fights have been in the MMA ones and the karate combat fights, but I never got to do a strict Muay Thai fight. But I trained for them many times. And when I started adding the elbows, when I moved beyond that just strict kickboxing sparring, I found that I was getting tagged with the same elbow on repeat. And it was not these elbows. Not these ones from range where people step in and they're doing this. Those were easy to block. I had no problem with that. Making the small adjustments in the hand positioning or long guarding to stop people, that was not a concern. The one in particular, which really threw me off, was when somebody punched, they left their hand there, not for a long time, but they didn't do the rechamber. They hit and then stepped in to close the distance. When you're throwing an elbow, it's so clear that something's coming because there's this range change. However, if you throw the punch first and then don't rechamber, I cannot see that there's a difference in footwork and in range. And then all of a sudden, these elbows came out of nowhere. In particular, one of the angles that I'm going to show you in a second was just landing on me like clockwork. Then I started adding it into my sparring and it started landing every time, pretty much every time. I had to be so careful with it. But watch my footwork here. I usually will start from beyond punch range because I don't want to get kicked. So I push myself in and then this hand is just not going to reach chamber all the way, just here, and then a second step in. So the footwork is 1, 2. And in between that, I am throwing my punch and my elbow. Now, those ones from the side are good, but they were not the ones that kept slipping up the center. I'm talking about raising up that arm, in particular the jab, from here and then to there. And I can really elongate my range by making sure the shoulder gets all the way out. I throw my jab, this one stays fairly close in front, like maximum range, and then I do another step and really push it forward. So I almost start like this and I finish like this to maximize how much range I have on my landing. I take my first step and then my second step. This one works as well off the back arm, but I don't find it's as effective and as sneaky. But you want to add these in, whether it's bag work, sparring, pad work. Don't think about hit and then throw. Think hit and then touch with that little extension out there. Maybe it comes back a little bit before hitting, or it can just do something like that. And you don't even have to make full contact. It's great if you do, but if you come a little shy and then step in, that's spectacular as well. Now, having this as just a single technique followed by the elbow, that's great. That's effective. But if you can turn this into a combo that finishes with the elbow, that is so scary. Something like jab, hook, jab, and then come into the elbow. But you see, I don't rechamber the last punch. And that's the tricky part. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that little step forward. And it's that little timing, that little slap, slap off beat at the end, because instead of going 1, rechamber 2, I'm just going here to here. So it's kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's where this is dangerous. But if you're looking for one in particular to play with, I would say start off the jab, lock the other hand tight to the head, throw it right out, and then raise up. Or throw it out and come across, start slow, boom, whoop, and then start picking up the speed. And you will land. The only downside of this is you land so effectively that you have to be very careful. And if you're throwing anything elbow-wise, especially one up the middle, please make sure you have on elbow pads. Save your sparring partner some cuts. Now let's call it there, everybody. Play around with those elbows, be safe, have fun. If you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribed to Strike Ready, please do so now.